Good morning, you beautiful souls. Welcome to your morning messages with me, Michelle. I am here to help you along your spiritual awakening journey and to help you with any kind of great change in your life, with anxiety, with fear, just all things intuitive as well, learning to follow our hearts. I was guided this morning to go through my old manifestation box. So I keep all the things that I've ever put on a manifestation wall. I think I started manifesting in like 2014. It's when I first read the book, The Secret. If you aren't familiar with manifesting or the law of attraction or the book, The Secret, you must start there. That is like the starting off point for understanding how the universe works. So I was like doing some hunting and I found some really cool stuff. I found something I wrote in 2016 about what a great marriage looks like, just about random stuff. So I'm going to read some things to you guys. And then I have currently my spiritual growth lessons, all the lessons that I've learned from my mentor, from teachings, from YouTube, all related to spiritual awakening type of lessons, like how we start to self-reflect and look at our behaviors and start asking ourselves, why am I doing this? Like where did I learn this from and how can I unlearn it? I just started writing my second ebook. My grief ebook is done. I'm so pumped to get that on Amazon. I'm waiting for my confirmation to Amazon so I can be a seller on there. And my second book is going to be about, it's called The Path to Self-Love, Unlearning Your Patterns. So kind of if you watched a previous video of mine about toxic patterns, that I had like 40 of them, all the ways I used to be, which is so vulnerable. And I don't know if I want to share it in the book as if it's me and my patterns, or if I can just say we as humans, ... So I don't know how it's going to work because I'm kind of vulnerable to share. I don't know. Lately, I've been like getting super scared about sharing. I don't know. Yeah. So I think that's something that I need to break through and just be like, no, like I went through it. I'm here to share, to help others. So anyway, okay. Let's do, I'm such a nerd. So I called them shush-isms. So if some of you know, my nickname in my family is Shushy and Shush. My dad used to call me Shushnabella. But recently I changed my Instagram name back to Michelle. I just feel more called to be called Michelle, but my nieces and nephews all still call me Shush. But I'm such a nerd. This is so like ego. This is all ego, what I wrote here. This is me thinking I know everything, but it's also information that I learned and I figured somebody could benefit from it. And if you hear my dishwasher is on, I hear it really loudly. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but just ignore that. But I wrote this in December of 2016. So I'm just going to pick random spots. I put people value thoughts, share yours, pick your audience wisely. If you get burned, don't give up, get back on the bike. And then I drew a little bike. Hilarious. Okay. Happiness is not a destination. You create it by doing the small things every single day. I still believe in that. Learn your love language and the language of your loved ones. Avoid things that trigger your unhappy state. Bad food, negative people, overthinking, and failing to check in, meaning like not pausing after you come home from work and sitting down and just being like, okay, what just happened today? What do I want to do for the rest of the night? Kind of like just always checking in with yourself. This is one of my favorites. What a great marriage looks like. So I think I read a book and this is the information I took from the book. And then I made it into my own words. Two people that know deep down that if they had to, they could live without each other. Two people that know deep down if it is possible to make the other one happy, that it's impossible to make the other one happy, it's their own job. Two people that know deep down that it is our God-given right to choose our dreams, even if the other person doesn't enjoy it, understand it, or want to do it with us. We still do it because it's ours. Two people that know deep down that they could live alone, but choose instead day after day to live side by side. That was one of my favorite ones. Healthy relationships. Share life with someone who understands that I don't need them, but I want them. It's important to see your partner's purpose, accept it, motivate them to pursue it, but steer clear of telling them how to pursue it. Trust their vision and allow them to create. Write things down. Thoughts can be lost after 30 seconds. Jot them down and reread them over and over again. If you have goals, then you need to set a timeline. The universe will align. Trust. Do 5 things each day to bring you closer to your goals. And then the end is talk the talk, walk the walk, be a doer. I'm such a nerd. I love looking back at the stuff I used to write. This is before my spiritual awakening. Okay. Spiritual growth lessons. I also have my Reiki chart. Today is full of fun stuff. I have my Reiki chart, so I'm going to explain the chakra systems to you guys. And then we'll pull cards at the end. So if you don't want to listen to any of this, just skip further down to the video and see when I start to pull cards. But for people that I know were asking for the chakras, it's coming today. Okay, so I'm going to pick some random spiritual growth lessons that I feel like somebody out there could start to practice in their own life. Okay, number 8, observe others' egos and allow them. Don't engage, just pray for them. So when you are with somebody and they are complaining, they are judging, they are comparing, they are being nasty, they are maybe judging you and your decisions in your life, if you can sit there and kind of look at them and be like, okay, that's not their heart speaking to you. That is their inner child that's having like a tantrum kind of situation. If you can imagine that, like they're maybe 11, 10 years old and just not happy and they're having a tantrum. You know, how would you engage with a 10-year-old in that situation? For me, I would always offer love and I would listen and I wouldn't try to like, you know, tell them what to do or change their thoughts. I would just be like, I hear you. It's okay. You know, you're allowed to feel that way. And I do the same thing with adults. So where other people will quickly want to engage with their ego and try to get them to see things differently. And why do you stay in that relationship? Or why do you do this? And it's, you know, those people that just always want to be miserable and they always want to complain. Don't engage. That is their ego. It is their little version of themselves that wants to stay unhappy and there's no changing them. So don't engage. Don't give your energy to that. And a lot of times that's our parents. So that can be really hard. 13, ask your guides. This is a huge spiritual growth lesson that I learned, is that when you're driving to Target and you want a good parking spot, ask your guides. Say, universe, angels, guides, can you please bring me a parking spot? I would be so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And see what happens. When you start doing that dance with the universe and your guides, you start to see how they show up and how they like do cool things for you. And you're like, am I really speaking to something in the sky? And that's how I started. I just started asking my guides for everything. One time I went into TJ Maxx and I was looking for workout shorts, and I'm really picky about my clothing. I'm kind of a, what do you want to call it? I find one pair of pants and I'll buy like 3 or 4 pairs and I'll just rotate them. Like even today I wore different pants today, but I actually wore these pants like every day for like 3 years. And I pulled them out today. I was like, I haven't worn these in a while. So I'll probably wear them for like the next 3 weeks. I'm very like routine oriented. So anyway, shorts are a big deal for me. I struggle to find shorts that fit good. I have like a bigger butt, a tinier waist, but it's like and that sounds like dreamy, but it's really not. But my lower half is just different. And I never really fit into like a typical teen athletic shorts. So I was going to TJ Maxx and I was like, angels, guides, please let me find the best pair of shorts within the first 5 minutes. I literally walk in, the first rack had all athletic clothing. And there was this cute pair of, it was black camo, but it's like a sheen. Anyway, I'm not going to go into detail, but I found them within 5 minutes. So if you ask your guides, they show up for you. Okay, 14, this is huge. Text etiquette. I cannot stress this enough. Okay, anytime you are about to text somebody, pretend like you're showing up at their door and you're addressing them, right? You're knocking on the door, they're opening the door. What are you saying? Hi. how's your day? How are you? Please, please, please don't jump into somebody's phone and just blurting your question. Don't just jump into somebody's phone with something toxic, or like a news article about something super negative. Your energy is sacred and you get to decide what comes through your phone. So for me, I set boundaries immediately on my spiritual awakening because I am very sensitive. What I see, what I hear, I feel. So if I'm seeing something toxic, if I am hearing something toxic, it goes into my bones, and then I have to go cleanse, and then I got to go clean my energy. So I don't want anything coming into my phone. So sometimes I would have clients who would do readings with me, and this was maybe like 2 years ago, and I didn't learn this yet. And I would just allow them to jump in my phone at like 11 o'clock at night and be like, they would just write, my boyfriend just broke up with me. I need a reading. That is like so inappropriate. What really should happen is they should wait until the next morning and they should say, good morning, Michelle. I hope you're doing well. I hope your energy is good. When you have some time and space, I would love to book a reading with you. There's a certain amount of etiquette that has to go along with texting that we've lost sight of. People have kind of like gotten out of the knock on your door. How are you today? I hope you're good. Do you have some energy for a conversation? Would you mind if I ask you a question right now? So we have to get back to honoring other people's energy and understanding that we're all sensitive beings, and we can't just jump into somebody's phone with information that might not be appropriate for them at that moment with whatever they're doing. So like, what if they were grieving, or what if they were crying, and you jump in and you're like, I can't believe it's raining today. Can you imagine somebody that just lost somebody and they're hearing you complain about the rain? It's a huge no-no. So we always have to have good etiquette. And then, yeah, so I put one long message, ask permission, say good morning, all that stuff. One more, let's do one more. Oh, okay. Number 12, lessons resurface with different people until it's learned. I was actually just talking about this morning. So we all have these patterns, right? We all have these things that we do. And, you know, let's say a guy, right? We'll say a guy is maybe like mid-20s and he keeps attracting girls that cheat on him. Right? So he's kind of like, what the heck? What am I doing? And all of a sudden he attracts a new girl and they're dating and whatever. And all of a sudden it happens again. So there's something, it doesn't matter. It's not the person that's cheating. There's something in him that is drawing that behavior to him. And the universe will keep repeating it, meaning it'll keep sending him more people that are going to walk all over him, abuse him, not honor him, because it's wanting to show him that he's not doing that for himself. He's not honoring himself. He's not standing in his truth and saying like, I'm not putting up with this behavior. Like, you know, maybe he has to wake up and see what the red flags are in all of those women he dated before. Like in the beginning of the relationship, oh, this girl reminds me of that one. So maybe I should end it here. So the lessons that we go through in life, they'll keep repeating until we learn it, until we say no. And that's been something that I struggle with, and I have my own little patterns that I do, and I'm not perfect by any means. And I love being on this channel, sharing and being vulnerable and letting you guys know like what I've been through, because then you can kind of see it in your own life and see what you're doing. But this is a hard one. Lessons, it's like, like, why does this happen again? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I thought I learned this, but each time we get it, we get better. I was just talking about this with my mentor the other day, and we were just saying, like, she was just cheering me on and saying, she's like, Michelle, you are so close to being fully free from all things in your life. You are so connected. She just was like hyping me up. She's my hype girl. But it was really like comforting to see that somebody's been watching me all these years and like observing me and seeing my growth and knowing that you know, I am stopping those patterns. I am not getting those same lessons anymore. It is kind of like a freedom type of life for me. And I don't know how to describe that in a way, but like, it's just really understanding your path and saying no, I'm worthy of this. Yes, I'll take that. Yes, setting a boundary in text messages, like all of these lessons that I have written down here. It's kind of like you're mastering them all, and then you're no longer tolerating certain types of behavior. So it's really cool to like have a mentor who's guiding you. And if you guys are interested in having a mentor, I would be happy to do that with you. And what mentorship looks like is just booking whenever you feel called to connect with me, to ask for advice, to sit down and pull cards, and then we discuss it, whether it's Reiki. You know, if you feel called to work with me, then email me or DM me on Instagram, because we cannot do this path alone. We need guidance. We need somebody showing us the parts of ourselves that we can't see. And I wouldn't have this list if it wasn't for my mentor, because I didn't have any kind of guidance, and she's taught me so much. So if you learn a lot from me on this channel, I would love to work with you one-on-one, because that means you're willing to grow and you're willing to learn. And I would love to hold space for you and guide you so that you can go and do that with this confidence that you're not alone and somebody understands what you're going through. You know, there's so many different things in the spiritual path that, you know, people don't talk about, and we will talk about that. So it'll be such comfort for you. Okay, moving on. I also have parenting advice, a letter to my future husband. How funny is that? I saw that and I started giggling. I wrote that in October of 2018. I wrote him a full-on letter. And it's 2021 and I'm still single. It'll happen. Okay. Chakras. Here we go. We're going to start off with the root. So we have the root chakra is the first one, and it's down underneath your lady and male parts, and like the root of your body. And then we have the sacral, which is number 2, which is like your sexual energy center. And number 3 is your solar plexus. That's your power center. It's where you make good decisions and how you take control and your worth. Number 4 is your heart chakra, the green. Number 5 is your throat chakra, that's in your heart. Number 6 is your third eye. And number 7 is your crown, which is on the top of your head. So I'm just going to read these to you guys real fast. Number 1, your base and root chakra. Lower sex, reproductive system, rectum, tailbone, legs, and feet. It's body and money, needs safety, sexuality, actions, groundedness, physical energy. So these are all key words that relate to each chakra. Number 2, your spleen chakra, AKA your sacral. It's all about your blood. So I'm also going to talk about what happens physically in your body. Blood sugar, spleen, ovaries, urinary tract, uterus, kidney, adrenals. So if you are having a urinary tract infection, you're going to need to look at, oh, that's my sacral chakra. That's my feelings, my emotion, my sexual energy, my boundaries, my intimacy. So if you struggle with boundaries in your life, you might be having a urinary tract infection, because the universe is wanting you to clear that chakra and to work on that spiritual lesson. So the chakras are all connected to our physical ailments and our spiritual lessons and the connection with our energetic body. So sacral, feelings, emotional needs, boundaries, trust, warmth, intimacy, attach, let go, addiction, pleasure, joy, beginnings and endings. So if any of those words are something that you struggle with, you might have ailments in your adrenals, your uterus, your kidney, your ovaries, your spleen, and your urinary tract. Okay, number 3, solar plexus. This is your power center, right? It's right here. This is all relating to your pancreas, your stomach, your liver, your small intestine, blood sugar, and digestion. This is mental energy, will, power, control, control over self versus others, beliefs, details, constructive versus self-critical, thoughts, and perfection. So if you are a perfectionist and you struggle with being perfect, you're going to hold this all in your digestive system. So you might have a lot of digestive problems. If you're very self-critical, you're going to have a lot of digestive problems and liver problems. And guess what? Your liver surfaces, if you have issues with your liver, if it's overheated, alcohol, caffeine, sugar, it'll show through your skin. So you might get a rash on your arm. You might be itching somewhere else. You might just have really bad acne. Your skin just might look a little tired. I know anytime my skin's looking a little rough, I just immediately lay off any kind of like excess stuff, and I cleanse, and I'll do a fast, and then my skin immediately like bumps back to normal. And when I say cleanse, it's like I'll do mostly water all day long with celery juice, apples, and rice and bananas. So I'll do apples, rice, bananas, and celery juice. I'll do like a day or two of just those items, and it's just like a reset for me. I would do like a full fast, but I'm not that disciplined. I need food. Okay, number 4, your heart chakra. Okay, this is your thymus, breathing, allergies, lungs, blood pressure, lymph, and in your immune system. So a lot of people that struggle with autoimmune stuff and just any kind of breathing issues, asthma, that has a lot to do with your heart chakra. If you have a broken heart, if you've lost someone at a young age, your body might be showing signs that you still haven't healed that trauma. So I don't know if I said this earlier, but the emotional trauma in your life is being stored in these areas, in these chakras. And the chakras are like spinning, if you can just imagine like a little tornado, like little mini tornadoes. That's what they are. They're spinning in each section, right? All the way up to your top, and they can get blocked. And Reiki healing, which is the practice of you laying down and meditating, and a healer, a facilitator, putting their hands over each chakra. And the idea is that I am a channel for light and energy, and I am pouring that light into your body, and I am clearing that chakra for you. So Reiki can actually heal a urinary tract infection. Reiki can actually heal allergies and sinuses. And it's the connection of the energy going in and your awareness to, oh, I'm having a urinary tract problem because I'm struggling with a relationship that's ending. See the connection there? I hope this all makes sense. I love teaching, but I really don't like teaching when I don't have feedback right away. Okay, so heart chakra. We already did the lymph, immune system. Okay, this is all about the keywords: harmony, trust, lovingness, gentle with self and others, able to give and receive. So if you struggle with receiving, this is all. You might have issues with allergies, your immune system, your lymph nodes. So being flexible, being open to new people, ideas, growth, coping with loss, and balance. So your heart chakra, and a lot of times when we have issues with our heart chakra, we might have like a caved in chest a little bit. We might not stand real tall and proud. And we can also have upper back problems. So each chakra is like connected to both your front of your body and the back of your body. Okay, so you have your heart, you have your solar plexus, sacral's near the womb, and the root is underneath. So if like you have tailbone, if you have leg issues, if you have some weird rash on your legs, that could mean you're struggling with your financial security or where you're going to live, or just not feeling grounded in your life. And being out in nature can really help that. Okay, next one, your throat chakra. This is one of my favorites. I don't know why, but I always have spirits always messing with my throat chakra. So this is all about thyroid, neck, ears, respiratory system, colds, sinus, and allergies. And number 5 says open, clear communicating feelings, thoughts, creativity, speaking up, releasing, breathing life force, and healing. So your throat chakra is a huge, I see it as a huge piece of our healing journey, because a lot of times we have to use our solar plexus, We have to stand in our power and be strong. But then guess what we have to use? We have to use our throat chakra to speak our truth, to tell somebody no, to say, I'm not going to put up with this behavior anymore, or to speak up and finally let out what's been holding in your heart, what you've been holding in your heart. So if you have a blocked throat chakra, sometimes it just takes a couple Reiki sessions to kind of help you remove the blockage that's keeping you from expressing yourself. And I don't know about you guys, but through my grief, I went through many drives in my Jeep, literally hands on the steering wheel, like screaming as loud as I could to just like I just would scream because I was so angry and I had to release it. It was like a connection between my heart chakra was completely shattered after the loss of my daughter. And then I remember quitting my teaching job a couple years later, like 3 years ago. And, you know, the connection between like, why did I do that? Why did I just leave my job? Like I was second guessing it. And I remember going on a drive in my Jeep and there's a huge storm coming and I was driving right to it. I was not like, oh my God, there's a storm. And I was like, nope. I swear I was like a tornado hunter in a past life. I love tornadoes. So I'm like driving on this farmland road and I'm just going right into the storm. I didn't care. I didn't care if I died. I didn't care if whatever. I just was like so angry at my life. I didn't want to like, I was so angry at myself. I was like, why is my life like this? Why don't I have a job? What am I doing? Why did my daughter have to die? It was just like a total like self-destruction. And I remember screaming like 3 or 4 times on the top of my lungs in my Jeep, like I remember coming home and I couldn't talk because I screamed so loud. But sometimes we spiritually, we are being called to just freaking release it. Sometimes that's dancing and expressing ourselves. Sometimes it's screaming. Sometimes it's crying. Sometimes it's like punching a punching bag and just getting that shit out. Okay, moving on. So throat chakra, I am very passionate about that. I think expression is huge in our bodies and in our path to be free. If we want to be free in our lives, meaning we want to be happy at our job, we want to have healthy relationships, we have to use this. We have to express ourselves. We have to say how we're feeling when we're feeling it. And who cares? If somebody's not going to accept it, then they're not the right person for you. But you need to find people that are going to allow you to speak and say whatever is on your heart. And when you finally get to that space of being able to be free in that way, and you start to do it more often, you're like, fuck, this is great. Like I can say, there's no blockage. I feel free and you're not trapped in a box anymore. Okay, number 5, we did 5, throat chakra. Number 6, your third eye, the pituitary, hypothalamus, eyes, the nervous system. So if you have any kind of eye issues or nervous system problems, that's all related to your third eye, which is connected to overview, visualizing, clairvoyance, which is being able to having a special gift of seeing and feeling and hearing, like being able to connect with your intuition in that way. Choices for good for all. Interesting one. Visualize, like making, I guess, wanting to make good choices that help everybody around you and not just yourself. Psychic, subtle awareness of self and others, addictions healed, and service. So your third eye is all about your connection to the universe and God. So when that is feeling blocked, a lot of times you feel disconnected. You're not getting signs from the universe. You feel like you're off your path. So a lot of people do tapping. I know tapping is like a huge thing. A lot of people do, I think it's called EFT tapping, but for the third eye, a lot of people just sit here and they just breathe, tap. A lot of people put a crystal on their third eye and like they meditate for a little bit, and you're just allowing that space to open up and to just ask for the universe to come into your life, ask God to bless you, ask God to guide you. And you're just, it's almost like a surrender. When this is blocked, it means your hands are on the wheel of the car and you're trying to drive your life. When this is open, you are sitting in the back seat of the Uber, knowing that your soul is driving and you're like, okay, I'm here. So the third eye is all about meditating, connecting back, praying. Number 7, the final one, your crown chakra up here. So if you have issues with losing hair, if you have issues with headaches and migraines, they're all related to your crown chakra and your third eye, really. So this is all about compassion, at oneness, seeing self in others. You're seeing that everybody is a mirror to you. Allowingness, harmonious, peaceful, non-attached, loving, non-reactive, spiritual love. I think that's what that means. She just has it abbreviated SPIR. So the second half of what I was always mentioning, like I would mention the body part and then I would mention the keywords. These are all emotional strengths or blocks. So you could be really good at some of these things. And that means your third eye or crown chakra, I'd say you're really compassionate to others. You're always understanding other people's path. You're not judging them. That means your crown chakra is open and flowing and you're in the flow and you're doing good. And then say you struggle with communicating. That means your throat chakra needs a little bit of work. And what you can do with that is sit down and journal. Why aren't I expressing myself? How can I express myself more? Or go and book a Reiki session or book a reading and we can address it. And a lot of times chakras can be, it's almost like they start, I like to envision it as they start to slow down. So they're spinning, right? When they're in the flow and spinning and they're not blocked, they're moving pretty good. It's energy. And when it starts to get like muddy, they start to slow down and they start to get blocked. And that's when disease builds and something starts to happen in your body. And I was just also saying to a friend this morning that like when we have illness in our body is telling us to pause, slow down, whether it's an injury, say you sprain your finger. I was saying earlier that I had total reconstructive surgery on my elbow. I have a really cool scar. I have a cadaver ligament in my elbow, which is pretty neat. And the doctor actually told me I'd never be able to do a push-up again. And I was like, let me prove you wrong. So now I can do burpees and push-ups because I was really diligent about my healing journey. And I have faith in my body that it can heal. So I believe that I had that injury. I was in a partnership with somebody and it was time to leave. And I wasn't doing it. And I think the universe made me get hurt so that I would be laid up on the couch to have time to think about it. And then I still didn't follow. I actually did break up with him the week after the surgery, and everyone was like, you're not well, like you're on medicine, you're not making don't make rash decisions. And he was pretty persistent and like showing up at my door and he was so sad. And I just was like, I don't know what to do. This doesn't feel right. So anyway, the universe can make you get injured when it wants you to make change in your life. So anytime you get sick, you have a cold, you have a weird like sprained ankle or something, you're being called to rest, to self-reflect in some way in your life because the universe wants you to be better, or it just wants you to have a little time and space to heal. So that is my rundown on the chakras. I was planning on doing this with my niece Eva, but I think I'm going to have her come and do which crystals match each chakra. So now that you guys have like a backstory about all the chakras, I figured that would be cool to connect the crystals with the chakras. Like for instance, this is rose quartz. This is pink and it's for your heart chakra. So when I meditate, a lot of times I'll put them on my heart. Yeah, so there's a chakra for each, there's a crystal for each chakra. What else did I want to share? I think that's it. Sorry that this is, I'm not going to apologize. It's perfect. There's also colors to match every single one. So in my readings, what I learned was when I pull cards and they have certain colors, it reminds me of that chakra. So if I'm doing a reading with you and you're watching me right now, whoever you are, and we get like 4 purple cards, right? There's 4 cards and they all have the color purple on it. Well, that's the universe, my angels and my guides telling me that this person has an issue with their third eye. Because if you can see, purple is connected to that chakra. You know, red is the root, orange is your sexual energy, your sacral. Yellow is your solar plexus, your power. So if somebody was getting a bunch of yellow, I would say like, hey, do you struggle like standing firm and speaking your truth and telling people no? And are you like, do you let people just kind of like walk all over you? And then we start talking about that. So the colors are also a really cool indicator of how to read cards. So if you are interested in pulling your own cards or being a reader like me, this is a huge thing to step into and to learn about. I actually am level 2 Reiki certified. I'm currently about to start practicing and taking clients, and I haven't done it at all. And I've had my certification for, I guess, 2 years now. And I finally feel called to do it. Like, I just want to lay people on my table and just let them feel better. And I want to help them see like wherever I feel heat on my hands as I'm hovering over their, like maybe their head or their legs or their belly. If I feel heat in that area, I now know that that's an area that they're blocked. And then after the session, we sit down and we talk about it. And then we talk about what thing they might be going through emotionally that might be causing the blockage. Then we heal it. And then the ailment that they had in that area starts to go away. It's pretty cool. So I hope you guys like this. Okay. Let's pull some cards to end this. Coffee break. Okay. Energy, post full moon energy. What do we got? 6 of Pentacles. It's an equal give and take, giving and receiving. And this could mean with money. This could mean with love. This could mean with communication. And where was it on the Reiki sheet? Yeah, so this would mean your heart chakra. And it's actually kind of green too. It's more like a blue-green. But the giving and receiving, remember we talked about your heart chakra. If you're not able to give and receive, you might have areas of pain or discomfort in your chest. Okay, let's do another one. I like this connection with the chakras. Now that you guys are all learned and now that you guys are pros about it. King of Cups, yes. This could be a relationship reading. This is a really grounded man. He's connected to his emotions. He self-reflects. He's highly meditated. He's got his finger in his bowl, kind of like swirling around the water. And he's got his hand, no, not so much in the water, but he's got a starfish. There's a boat behind him. There's a crown above his head. Like he's a king, obviously the King of Cups. So cups represent emotion and water and just being really sensitive, and he's in his feminine energy, and he's willing to be in the flow, and he's willing to give. And if you can see flow here, you can see that figure 8. He's just so open. He's honorable. He's like well respected, and he's calm and he's still. Ace of Pentacles, building a foundation, planting seeds. You can see the roots. And Pentacles is usually like material abundance. So you're starting to get ideas and you're starting to plant seeds for your future. And this could be him like meditating on the fact that he's finally figuring out like where he wants to plant his seeds. One more. Two of Wands. Oh man, somebody's got a decision to make. The Two of Wands represents a decision. Do I leave the room? She's like looking outside the room. Do I leave the room and go explore the outdoors, or do I stay inside in my comfy house? So it's kind of like getting out of your comfort zone and taking a leap of faith. It's like she's got the globe there. She's got a van, a picture of a van. So she's like wanting to go on this journey, but she's got to make a decision to do it. And if she makes the decision, she'll be planting seeds. Okay, I just got called to do one more card to end this reading. Man, got another king. King of Pentacles, compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, grounded, a time of great success, financial security and prosperity, the Midas touch, everything turning out beautifully, a supportive parent and spouse, a good person to work for. We have two kings, you guys. Either you are feminine and you're stepping into your masculine energy and you're becoming the king in your own inner world, or you are attracting a man who's got a great balance of being compassionate, being loving, being grounded, being sensitive, and then one that's also ready to be successful and he's grounded and he's a king. They're both kings. They're like, heck yes, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to plant seeds. I'm ready to grow this. It's an equal give and take partnership, whether it's a work partnership or whatever, or a relationship. It's equal. It's not one-sided. And it just has to take one little step outside to get it all. One little leap of faith when the time is right. All right, lovies, I hope you enjoyed these morning messages. Again, so different, so new. I didn't know that was going to happen. My spiritual lessons we talked about, the chakras you finally learned about. And I know I had 3 or 4 people messaging me saying like, hey, can you teach about the chakras? So I'm glad I finally did that and got that done. I also want to do another video about like full moon rituals and how to manifest during a full moon, because we just had one and I had a couple people asking me and I feel bad that I didn't like put out a video for that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Happy Tuesday, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, lovies.